Are we recording? Did I hit record? I did. Did I hit record? Chris Egan, how are you? It's Chris's weekly visit with us here at pucksports.com. Episode, hold on, I got to check this. I don't think it is 104.
Wow.
Episode 104, brought to you by Fat Zach's Pizza. 3 great locations: Sumner, downtown Puyallup, South Hill, home of the original No Big Dill Pickle Pizza. Also, you can book their food trucks, Chris, for catering, birthday parties, graduations, corporate events. Voted the best in the Sound 2 years in a row. Best Pizza. Find them on Facebook and Instagram. Also, fatzachspizza.com. It's been an eventful Friday for me. My computer was somehow hacked with a virus, and I've been like on hold with a guy who's now calling me back right now.
What happened? Did you hit a link, Puck? You know, you're not supposed to open up links that people send.
I know. I don't know if I hit a link. I don't know what happened.
If it's a link, I don't even care. My mom sending me a link or my wife. I delete the message. I move on.
I don't know. I was probably on some bad websites. I don't know.
It happens.
It happens. And then this guy, so then they're in there, and this person I have now that's trying to fix it. It's probably them. They would probably put the virus in there. And now I'm like, hey, yeah, you can have access to all my computer and my information.
And as we do this, he's probably, in your bank account right now, Puck, trying to take everything out.
Well, there's no money, Chris.
Okay. All right. Well,
there's no money to take. Kidding me? There's nothing to take. It's available for anyone.
Puck Sports is just starting though, Puck. I mean, it's exploding across the nation right now. The podcast of record.
It's going to end as quickly as it started. How are you, sir? Good to see your smiling face.
I'm doing well. It's been busy. I've like 8 months ago, I said yes to emceeing all these events, and then I didn't really realize when I was saying yes that they were all in the same week. So I am now I'm doing 6 events in a span of 14 days. I will say this: I've been around from the east side, the 425 to the 253 to the 206. I love it all. Here's where I just feel bad. I wish I had won the lottery at some point in my life, Puck, because you go to all these events and they're so great, and they're raising money for all these incredible causes. I'll be doing one on Saturday night for Corks and Crush, which is for Good Samaritan Hospital. And I wish I could just go to every one of these and write a check for $1 million, because but you know what? I give my services as an MC. We have fun. We get energy going. And,
Okay. So now let me ask you, for someone that's you're on the MC circuit, right?
Yeah.
Who else is on the MC circuit? Like, who are you competing against?
Well, here's the thing and I feel bad. A lot of these people on the MC circuit, this is part of their job. I just do this for I do this to help out the community, and if the event's special to me, I'll do it. If it has meaning to me, I'll do it. But I think there's
and narcissism.
Yeah, you've pointed that out quite a bit, Puck, which is fine.
Ego.
I'm trying to bring that down a little bit in 2024. We'll see how that works out. I know John Curley has done a lot. He's an MC of events, and they actually make, Puck, a percentage of, like, let's just say they raise $1 million. I think they sign contracts where they're pulling in anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4% of that, if they are the auctioneer of that event. And I may be high because I don't know that for a fact because I don't do it. But
now, do you get paid for this stuff?
No.
Yeah. You just of your heart.
A lot of them, you just kind of go, they mean, like this Saturday is Corks and Crush. It's the big hospital. It's the hospital in Puyallup, Good Samaritan Hospital. Yeah. So, and this one has a little extra meaning to me. I'm kind of doing this one I'll be honest with you, Puck. 5 months ago, I said no to them. I think it's no secret. You and I have talked about it. My brother passed away from an alcoholic addiction. Stemming from an alcohol addiction. So this one means a little extra to me. So I'm going there to kind of represent my brother. And I'll talk about this tomorrow night. That was the worst day of my life, finding my brother. It was hell. And we don't sometimes realize nurses, doctors, paramedics, firefighters, they're yes, there's good days. Babies are born, cancer is cured, but they're also at everybody's worst day. So in my mind, we got to support them. We got to show love for them, and we got to thank you. And if I could just show up for an event and MC and dress up in my black suit and have some fun and raise some money, you know what? That doesn't seem like a whole lot to me.
Is that what it's for? Like raise money? Is it raising money for like first responders? Is it raising money for?
I think it's for the entire Good Samaritan hospital area. So I don't know exactly where all the money goes, but I think it goes throughout the hospital, and they've been doing it for a while. Cool. My older brother and I, Mike Egan, we used to do it, but this is our first time back in a few years, so it's going to be fun. So it's going to be fun, but it's going to get a little emotional, I'm sure, as well.
Of course it is. So Mike's doing it with you.
Yes, he is doing it with me. So usually a lot of these I'll do on my own, but it's kind of fun to have. I would love to do an event with you, Puckett, because I like having. I like to have two people on stage because you can kind of work off each other. But you also have to remember, Puck, the cameras are always on. So, my wife was in the bathroom last night at a Puyallup Summer Chamber of Commerce, and they were talking about the food. It was a food wine event, and they were describing the shrimp as spicy, tangy. It's something, you got to be careful with. And I was quick on it. I'm like, kind of like my wife, huh? Because I saw she was not at her table. But it takes 2 minutes before people are showing her video of, hey, did you see what your husband said about you? I'm like,
here you go.
They're fun events. But I wish someday maybe, I'll hit the jackpot. It'd be so much fun, Puck, you and I to go to these things and just sit up at the front table and bid on everything.
Because recently you did the Tacoma Athletic Club.
That was a Hall of Fame event, so that wasn't necessarily a charity. They were inducting 13 members into the Tacoma Athletic Commission Hall of Fame.
And I heard we got a shout out.
Oh yes, we did get a shout out. People are missing Puck and Egan on Fridays when we did this, but now they're jumping on pucksports.com and listening to the podcast. So
it was the script was sent to me by my buddy Jamie Hartley.
Ah, okay. So yes, you've got eyes even in Pierce County. You got eyes and ears everywhere.
I love Pierce County.
Yeah, no, that was a special event, and they also honored Doug MacArthur. Former University of Puget Sound athletic director. He helped lead a national championship team there in the 70s. He was part of Tacoma Parks, but maybe the biggest imprint of his life, Puck, is a little place called the Tacoma Dome, and Doug MacArthur was big behind the Tacoma Dome. He died in December, 94 years of age, so they honored him, had a great video. And one of my favorite lines of the night was coming out of the video. I was like, what a tribute to Doug. And Doug and I, as we were sitting down at the MSM Deli one day, we have a little exclusive information we want to reveal tonight. And I told everybody, the neon signs at the Tacoma Dome, those actually spell out Doug MacArthur. And half the crowd is laughing, and the other half is like, is he serious? Is that what those is that spell out Doug MacArthur?
Let's drive by there tonight and see.
The neon signs inside the dome I'm talking about.
Of course, they know the neon signs. Yeah, absolutely.
One of the great mysteries in the state of Washington. There.
There's a lot of mysteries about the Tacoma Dome.
We'll leave it at that, huh? Well,
just a lot. We can still have some good Wi-Fi in there.
It's a beautiful segue, Puck. It's a beautiful segue from that to what I think is one of the biggest mysteries is the failure of adding girls flag football as an official state sport. I didn't understand this. And for everybody, maybe I know we've talked about this before. 2 weeks ago, Puck and I were talking about this. 1 week ago, I warned you, Jason. I said, I don't know if this thing's going to pass because I was getting some vibes from athletic directors. I still didn't get it. Girls flag football, let's just for everybody listening, maybe for the first time, is a club sport in the state of Washington. Several high schools, over 40 high schools were doing it. It was very successful. They were playing it during the wintertime, so there was not an issue with fields. They were getting huge numbers. I can take one high school, for example. They had 32 girls try out. Out of the 32, only one of those girls was decided to play flag football instead of basketball. So it wasn't necessarily taken away from other sports. It was adding activities for kids to do. So they decided to let's put this out there and make this an official state sport so they can have, be sanctioned by the WIAA, have playoffs, have state championships, help get funding to keep this going. And then let's be clear here, Puck, as we talk about this, this was not a decision by the WIAA. The people that work there did not vote on this. This was voted on by a state rep assembly, which is athletic directors basically from around the state. And the athletic directors that I've been told from the west side were all for this. It's the east side of the state that said, no, 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 we're not doing this.
So I read a lot about this. I read John Manley's piece at the News Tribune. I read Todd Millis of Scorebook Live, two of the very best on the print side of things or digital side.
I agree.
Covering high school sports. And so I think it was the athletic director from Kashmir was the one that they were able to interview, which, by the way, led to a sidebar.
Your burger spot, yes, I saw that.
No,
okay.
Do we say it's Central Washington or Eastern Washington?
When I hear Kashmir, I'm saying Eastern Washington.
Me too.
I mean, Puck, the only thing central in the state of Washington to me is Ellensburg. That's it. Ellensburg is.
But isn't it like you cross?
Yeah, I know. Once you cross the mountains, you're in Eastern Washington. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
So their reasoning or his reasoning was because of the weather. That's what he said.
Well,
it's over there, and I can kind of understand that. He said it's the winter. If they're going to play it in the winter, we've got snow. We can't play. Okay,
true.
Don't get is that, and I think you're going to say this. They could have voted yes. They didn't have to adopt it. Just because you voted yes doesn't mean you have to have flag football. So I still don't understand if they were the majority of the schools that voted against it, why. There has to be some other reason why.
Let me explain a little bit. Yes, you're 100% correct, but I'll add on to this a little bit. Yes, if you voted yes, you could decline to add the sport. Eastern Washington doesn't really play girls flag football right now. It's kind of a west side thing. There may be a little bit over there, but majority is played on the west side. Now it's wintertime when they're playing it over here because the fields are open. Yes, you got snow, it's cold, so they didn't like the timing of it in Eastern Washington. But let's throw this out there, Puck. The state of Washington hasn't added a new sport since bowling. I think back in I don't even know when they added bowling. That's the last new sport. But after bowling, they did have an amendment for girls slow pitch. This was a sport a long time ago. I was told this was pushed through Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington wanted to bring girls slow pitch back. There was many athletic directors on the west side saying, you know what, we already have fast pitch. We don't need to add girls slow pitch. But they still put it out there. And guess what? The athletic directors on the west side said, you know what, it's for the kids. We'll vote yes, but we don't have to add it. So it got added. So my question here is this to the athletic directors that voted no. If you stand up in front, and let's just say, one of my events, Puck, going back was the WIAA Hall of Fame event that I was the MC for. And I sit there, and I've done this for 4 years, and many of these athletic directors get up on stage and say, hey, it's for the kids. It's always about the kids, 100%. It's all about the kids. This doesn't seem to me, Puck, it was for the kids.
No,
because you just took away an opportunity for kids to play sports.
I think it's obvious what it is. And for me, I mean, I talked about this the other day, and it's unfortunate. This is politics, is what it is, and we allowed politics and
ideology. I don't get it. What's the politics? Why not add it?
I'm going to get it to and the ideology of a state that's separated in two. That's what I think it is, because what you have is it's very stereotypical, and I'm going to stereotype the state, but for most part, it's pretty accurate. The left side of the state, the west side, is liberal. The right side of this state is conservative. And I think those athletic directors over there and those parents over there view girls flag football as, no, girls shouldn't play football.
You know what? You don't have to play.
I know, but that's what I'm telling you. That's what I think it came down to.
Well, don't get elected to the Hall of Fame and go up on stage and say it was about the kids then, because I'll walk out.
I can't come up, honestly, Chris, I can't come up with another reason.
I had one athletic director point to another athletic director says, yes, we understand we could have voted yes and declined it. But then what happens when those parents come in and say, hey, it's a sport. How come we're not doing it? Well,
figure it out.
Figure it out. Come on. You added bowling. I mean, guess what's not going into the Olympics, Puckett? Bowling. Guess what is going into the Olympics? A worldwide sport called flag football. The Olympics know what's going on. It's $1 billion industry. They wouldn't add flag football if they didn't think it was going to take off. Wake up.
When is girls soccer?
Girls soccer is in the fall. In the fall.
Okay, and that runs until when?
That runs up into the winter time. They'll play their state championships at the end of fall.
So at the end of fall over there, they'll play in November. Will they play a girls' soccer game in November in Eastern Washington?
I'm sure there's some district playoff games. The state title games are usually on the west side. I know Sparks Stadium and Puyallup host a lot of the state championship games. Late
October, early November. There is a good chance that there is high school games over there, right?
Yeah.
Now, I've been over there many, many times in Eastern Washington, November. You know what? It's cold. And sometimes it snows.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that girls who can go out there and play soccer in the cold weather and in the snow probably at times can't have another sport that does the same thing? I mean, we can plow the field, can't we?
Yeah, I think we can. They've got tools now that can do that. Yeah. Machine. We're in 2024. There are devices that can clear fields. I'm baffled by it still. I
don't, and that's and I don't mean to go there. And maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong about it. That's just the first place I went to because I thought about why would you not just say yes to it?
Yeah.
Just there's no reason not to say yes to it.
Well, and my big thing is I'm going to keep going back to it, Puck, is I hear all these athletic directors through the years, and many of them, by the way, are just absolutely phenomenal, and it is about the kids. It's about the kids. Well, this to me turned into not about the kids because you just basically ripped away, opportunities for kids. And people are out there, oh, Chris, they want to play. They still have club sports. There are some schools, Puckett, in the state of Washington that do not allow club sports in their high schools. So no, you're not giving an opportunity to these kids. So
yeah, I feel bad for the girls that wanted to play. I feel bad for that team. What was it, Emerald Ridge, right?
The Emerald Ridge, great. Emerald Ridge was one of many teams. There's a young girl on that team, phenomenal football player. I think she wanted to, go win a state championship. That was her dream. But but there's also I saw great teams at Bothell. I saw the Inglemore girls play in a tournament. The Seahawks were behind this.
I had my daughter. My daughter I told her about it, got really excited about it, because she does a gymnastics thing, but it's separate from school, right? And she was like, oh, this would be cool. Like maybe I could do it. I could let her in something.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm like, yeah, that'd be awesome. If it didn't conflict with what you're doing, that'd be really cool to go out and do it. So,
well, and here's one more point of this, Puck. Girls flag football. We're living in a world now where sports is dominated by what? Club sports, select teams. So you see a lot of girls, and I don't have the stats right in front of me, but they get to 13 or 14 and they start dropping out because maybe they realize, okay, I've been playing club tennis for the longest time and I can't compete against these girls. I'm playing club soccer. I'm not on the A team. I'm playing club softball. I'm just going to get out. Club football, there's no select teams and there's no cuts. I mean, I think it was Emerald Ridge had 3 teams they put together. That's how popular this sport is, and it's growing. We've got to wake up. It's not going away. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, I'd love to I'm going to reach out to that AD at Kashmir because I would just love to know more. Why don't you get
a burger with us? Say you're going to come over and treat them to a hamburger.
Yeah. I'll go to. First of all, it may be controversial, but it's the best burger in the state. It's so good. Now, for those who did chime in about Rusty's, yes. Does it take a long time? Yes, but goodness takes a while.
I was going to say greatness. Sometimes you got to wait for greatness, and you got to just put your patience there and enjoy a great burger. They have fry sauce there too, by the way. Delicious.
You mean mayonnaise and ketchup?
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it's how you mix it, though, right?
But I love when a place says, we've got fry sauce, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what did you come up with?
Yeah. You know what? You sound like my wife. I remember I was at the grocery store. I'm like, let's get some fry sauce. She's like, we could just take the ketchup and mayo and mix it up at home. I'm like, that's not fry sauce.
What I like to do is I do that, and then a little splash of Tapatio.
Oh, wow. I have not put a little Tapatio in my fry sauce before.
I put Tapatio everywhere, Chris, and I mean everywhere. Have you ever, I mean, you're a casual, probably golf fan, but whatever, you're a sports fan. Have you ever seen or heard a story where an athlete gets arrested, thrown into a cop car, handcuffed, he's got a mug shot, and 2 hours later, he's pounding balls on the range at a PGA Championship event, getting ready to play. And by the way, as we record this, he's on a heater. He's on an absolute heater.
Well, Puckett, the Scotty Shuffler story is taking over worldwide. I do want to, when people are listening to this, watching this, I want to be fair to Scotty Shuffler. He did release a statement. He said, this morning I was proceeding as directed by police officers on his way to the club. It was a very chaotic situation, understandably. So considering the tragic accident that had occurred earlier, and there was a big misunderstanding of what I thought I was being asked to do, I never intended to disregard any of the instructions. I'm hopeful to put this to the side and focus on golf, which he obviously has. Of course, all of us involved in the tournament express our deepest sympathy to the family of the man who passed away at the accident. It truly puts everything in perspective. But what a scene! No, Puck. To answer your question, I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen somebody all of a sudden they've got their orange jumpsuit on, and the next thing you know, they've got their golf outfit on 2 hours later, and they're on the greens. And you're watching the tournament; it's like nothing ever happened. Obviously, if you're on social media, that's a different story.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a guy in a mugshot. And then literally, I think it's about 2 hours, less than 2 hours later, he is on the range at an event, and he's warming up for the PGA Championship. I mean, nothing. Never seen it in basketball or the NFL or anything.
No, it's somebody coming to and let's be honest, this is a major championship. So this is like Tom Brady rolling in for the Super Bowl, and the next thing you know, he's heading off.
Can you imagine, like at the the height of their popularity, Michael Jordan? It's Game 5 of the NBA Finals. MJ was arrested, mugshot, and an hour later, he's in the layup line.
And then for Scheffler, this guy is on another level right now, Puckett. Golf a lot better than I do. I'm a mental nightmare on the golf course. But this is a tough game, and this guy was just arrested, doesn't know what's going on, and now he's out on the golf course.
Yeah, and he birdied the first hole. He just comes out there and throws a dart right on the first hole. Hey, what happened to your guy, Jake Garcia? Where's Jake Garcia going?
Jake Garcia, for everybody watching, listening, great 2-year run at King 5 Television. Yeah. He is heading to Arizona. His girlfriend lives down there. Huh. It was a hard decision. He loves Seattle. He told some great stories along the way. Obviously, it's just going to get – Seattle's going to just continue to erupt. Obviously, we have the addition of the Kraken. And then the Sonics, as we know, Puck, are coming back. But he made a decision, and I back him. He's a good friend of mine, and he needed balance in his life. And 2 years away from his girlfriend, which, will be his fiance soon, I think, and his wife. I guess I just released that information on the podcast.
Here at Puckets.com, Jake Garcia, ladies and men, off the market.
Off the market.
So TV?
I think he's going to try to get a job in Arizona. I think he's got a great tape. He's an incredible storyteller. And that's the thing I love about Jake Garcia. And you and I have fun about, me pumping up the ego and all stuff. This is the thing I love about Jake Garcia. In 2 years, it was never about Jake, and you never see him actually in his stories. It's always about the people he's covering, and he loved to cover. I mean, he did some great stories along the way on a lot of different stuff. So we're gonna miss him definitely in Seattle.
Yeah, best of luck to Jake. He's a great guy. We love our hometown 9, right? You and I, we love the M's.
Yeah.
Okay, they're playing great baseball. It's they're right in the thick of things.
And Puck, I was there, by the way, in Tacoma as J.P. Crawford got plugged. I was four rows back. And,
that's awesome.
And then he throws his helmet against the ground, and I'm like, that's not good. And then you see reports, it's not too serious. I'm like, if you were there, it didn't look good. So
yeah. Okay, but I don't want to talk about the team on the field.
Okay.
I want to talk about this decision. And I'm again, marketing department, I know you're going to get mad at this. But let me first preface this by saying every idea you guys do is it's a home run, okay? The hot dog eating contest, great.
Yeah.
Dancing groundskeepers. I wish you'd bring it back.
Yeah. Who let the dogs out? Good run.
Who let the dogs out? The hydros. I love the hydros. Yeah. I know some people don't. I love them.
I think they've been a big hit, the hydros.
It's uniquely Seattle.
Yeah.
The little ball trick, where the ball's underneath the helmet. Love that. I'm going to go on.
The Fry Gal. Were you a big fan of the Fry Gal?
Lindsay Theory?
Was it or was it Michelle Lutka that used to go out and bring fries?
Who was it? They both did it, didn't they?
I think they both did it. They would bring fries out to the crowd.
Yes. But I think that was more of a
root sports thing.
More root sports thing.
Okay, all right.
Like the latest one was the hot dogs from the sky. Have you seen that? The parachute?
I've not seen the hot dogs coming from the sky yet.
You haven't seen that? They put hot dogs in little parachutes and release them.
Genius. That is genius.
Hit you in the face.
That should be happening everywhere, every day. That just you get lucky, a hot dog lands in your backyard.
So I just want you to know, people. There's 90% of it that's great. Here's the 10% that's not good. They're going on June 16th. They're allowing new parents to come who are expecting a child, and they're going to do after the game a gender reveal like home run contest.
Oh boy.
Where they throw it and then they, you get it and it's like, oh, it's a boy, it's a girl.
I mean, is it really a reveal? They know what they're having. That's why they have the color picked out.
No, they don't know. That's they don't know.
So they're having the doctors reveal it?
Both or something. I don't know how it works. You have both, and then it opens up. And I hate the videos. I hate everything about it. I love watching the videos when there's a mishap and like they light the house on fire. I love all of that. Remember Kirk Cousins tried to do it and he
yes.
Around. Why? Come on, M's. Can we not be that franchise, that organization that does this?
You know what? This feels like this. I'm with you on this one. The baby reveal to me feels like it's like the third grade graduation. I mean, it's like, hey, come on over to Johnny's 8th grade graduation. I mean, it's like too much. We don't need that one. Yes.
Oh. Did you find out? Yeah. So we're on the same page here. All gender reveal, put it on a barge and send it out to the Pacific Ocean.
Gone out. Yeah.
Did you know beforehand with all 3 kids what you were having?
We knew on. That's a great question, Puck. I'm thinking back now.
Next question.
We knew on our first one because I think my wife wanted to get the room ready.
Yes.
So we figured that out.
Same deal.
And you know what? I think we ended up. On 2 and 3. Hey, honey, did we know on the 2nd and 3rd? She's in a real estate meeting right now. So
she's doing a real job.
Unlike you and I, Puck, she's making money right now.
Sorry. Excuse me one moment. I'm going to go answer. My husband's doing a podcast with some. I don't know if you knew our kids' identity where they were born. We did that with my daughter. Yeah, same reason. Oh, we need to know what color to paint the room. And now looking back, I'm like, we didn't need to know any of that stuff. But the second one, the vampire, we did not know.
Didn't know. So it was a surprise there.
But Daddy was sitting there with the fingers crossed going, please be a boy. Please, please, please be a boy. Please. And then when I came out and Puzo was flying around, I just gave a little tiger fist bump. Like, yes.
I want to say for 2 and 3 we didn't know because I think we had names on both sides of the aisle there, so we were ready to go.
And people don't know this about Chris. He still refers to them as 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Yeah. Well, Austin and Luke, 2 and 3. I wanted to really, for Austin, I wanted his name to be Skywalker, and I wanted Luke to be Angus. Both were denied by my wife. But I thought about how cool would have been if Austin was, now entering the game, Skywalker. And then, Luke, I'm just, now starting for Rogers High, Angus. I mean, those are just tough names. Good names.
Are you still the voice of the Rogers Rams, the PA voice?
No, I just in a nice way. It's just like you know this. You go to a baseball game, it's 3 hours on its own. Now, if you're the MC, you get there an hour after. Then you got to lock up. It's a 5-hour day. Yeah. It's been a nice taking that off my plate, if you will.
You guys still playing that annoying train sound?
No, I think I was the only one that would play that sound there. So, and here we go, Puck. It's state softball, state baseball is here. Right. Good time. So it's going to be fun. I know you're watching the Ballard softball team.
Hey, 2 things. Ballard baseball in state. They play on Saturday. First time, I believe, in 23 years they've been in state. Wow. And then the softball team, I've mentioned this before. This is a badass group of girls. And hey, rest of the state, they ain't going away because they are all young. And there's 5 freshmen on this team. They are going to be here for the long haul.
By the way, you mentioned Jake Garcia. You mentioned Ballard. Last Friday night, I went out with the Swifties to celebrate Jake Garcia, and we went to Ballard. And the funny thing about the Swifties, here's the thing. And when I mentioned the Swifties, Puck, to everybody listening, this is the young group at King 5. There's a lot of these young reporters, 24 to 32 producers. And I'm like, all right, I'm excited to celebrate Jake. What time are we going out? And they're like, probably 9:30, Chris. I'm like, why are we starting at 9:30? You want to get going at 5? And they're like, no, 9:30. We literally, this is what if somebody needs to explain this to me. We go to one bar. We're having a great time at this bar in Ballard. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's talking. I mean, we got tabs open.
Yeah.
And about an hour and a half in, let's go to another bar. Why do we need to go to another bar? We're already at this bar. Well, all the Swifties, yeah, let's go. So we cash out. We head to another bar. And then I don't get this. I don't do shots anymore because I'm too old. They all want to do shots. I never understand that. Yeah. But then we get to the second bar. Then they're all like, let's go do karaoke.
Yeah, they did.
So we go to a third bar in Ballard for karaoke night.
Hold on. Do you remember the name? Really? Here's the thing. I'm kind of pissed off with you.
You weren't invited to this?
Why didn't you? You're right in my neighborhood.
I really should have.
I would have been down there immediately. So where did you do karaoke? Can you remember?
It's a small bar on the corner.
Small bar on the corner. That narrows.
It had,
Fat Albert's.
Fat Albert's. That's where it was.
Great place. I'm going to tell you right now. Next time you want to get some lunch, Fat Albert's is your spot.
And then we were at the hardware store. I don't know what that bar was called.
Where?
Yeah, we were at the hardware store.
You were probably the oldest person by 20 years.
Well, the great thing was, I'm not. Well, yes, I'm going to just go ahead and do it because Puckett. You know what? you know me and my ego. So I roll up to the bar and it's Joyce Taylor and myself, and the bartender's like, we both come up. Bartender's like, Chris Egan, how are you, man? It's good to see you here. Coming in, I'm like, boom, baby.
Free drinks.
We had a blast there, but yes, we get to what is it, Mr. Beast? What was the karaoke place?
Called Fat Albert's.
Fat Albert's. So we go to Fat Albert's.
King's Hardware to Fat Albert's.
And here's the problem with I love karaoke, but when you've had a group that's been drinking too long, some people should not be singing. Okay. I mean, we had a producer singing Salt and Pepper Shoop.
Ooh.
I saw dogs and cats howling on the streets. It got a little rough.
You participate.
I did a lot of introducing people that they were singing next. I'd be like, here he is singing Wham's Careless Whisper. Jake Garcia.
Who was good?
We have an engineer by the name of Aiden. He's in a band, and he got up there, and you could tell he was the next level.
A little serious. Was it busy there? Usually it's
It was pretty packed. Yeah, and I'll say the hardware store, mispronouncing the bar there. That place was, I've never seen so many people. I mean, that place was packed.
That's a young person's bar. That's a real.
It was obviously, I think a lot of people thought I was a dad looking for my kid.
Probably.
Walking around.
Probably. I can't believe you were there and did not even just didn't even decide, hey, maybe I live like a mile from there.
I was a little disappointed in Ballard for one reason. Where were the hot dog vendors? I'm getting ready for a long drive home to Puyallup, and I wanted a hot dog in the way home. Couldn't find one, Puck.
Yeah, they used to have a guy. They used to have a couple, but yeah, you don't. But there was you could have went down. Ballard Pizza Wood is open. Could have got a couple of slices on.
I think that was closed.
Was it closed? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking for something at like 1 a.m. I mean, once again, Puck, the party started at 9 o'clock. I don't know why we have to start so late, but
1 a.m.
Yeah. No, we closed it down. It was 2 a.m. by the time everybody got out of there.
Oh, did Jake Wittenberg ride his bike there?
I did not see him there. The morning show folks didn't make the trip there. Did he
really ride his bike into the morning show?
I guess he did. Yes, he did.
Did I hear that he filmed it? Like he actually did he film?
I think he had a GoPro. Yeah, what was going in?
Who's the producer who said, "Hey, I think this is what the people want"?
Well, and I'm just waiting for how much that they throw me everywhere. Them to say, hey, maybe we should have Egan ride his bike in from Puyallup. That would be a good idea.
Did I read 20? Where does he live? It was like 25 miles.
Yeah, I think he's north. I want to say he's Edmonds, Mukilteo, Shoreline, somewhere up in that area.
Hey, that's it. Well, good for him. Good for Jay.
Yeah. That guy's in shape, man. He's a good golfer too. You two need to get out on the golf course.
Okay. All right. What's planned for the weekend there, Chris Egan?
A lot of working. I don't know if I mentioned it on this podcast, but the Summer Olympics this year are on NBC, so I'll be tracking down a lot of Olympic athletes this weekend as they're making their punch to Paris. My daughter now, Puck, 100 days until her wedding. We got 50 days, I think, until I leave for Paris. We have 10 days until Austin Egan heads to Edmonton, Canada to pitch for the Edmonton Riverhawks. So it's getting busy, Puck. And we're only 7 days away now from the next PuckSports.com podcast.
You're the best. There he is, Chris Egan, every Friday, brought to you by Fat Zach's Pizza. Check him out at FatZachsPizza.com.